Vitaly is standing on the ruins of his house in Borodyanka. In March 2022, the Russian army destroyed part of the high-rise building where his family's flat was located with 2 air bombs. Because of the strikes by the Russian military, people were left not only homeless but also with no money. After all, the Russians also destroyed the Vitaly family's coffee house, a business in which they had invested for years.
Our cafe was located somewhere here. I guess a coffee machine was here.
Vitaly and his family returned to Borodyanka immediately after the Ukrainian armed forces liberated it. Being left with absolutely nothing, they decided to build everything from scratch, but most importantly, in principle, in their native Borodyanka. They rented a new building and the neighbors helped them arrange everything.
Our cafe, for me, for my wife, we can't even imagine ourselves without it. Here we meet those people with whom we went through all of this.
Among the burnt-out bases and warehouses, there is a clay Ukrainian bakery house that survived during the Russian occupation of Bucha only because the Russian military arranged lodging for the night here, and retreating, the Russians stole everything, from the dishes and the flour itself. Business owner Yaroslav Burkovsky says, in the first weeks after the counter-offensive of the Ukrainian army in the Kyiv region, local residents were helping the bakers to resume work. They brought firewood, glazed windows, delivered bread.
A Polish baker, his name is Jacek Palewski, wrote to me. He wrote to find out if the bakery had survived, if it was possible to come and restore something here. I began to find out what was left, whether it made sense to do something. He played a big role. We cleaned this place. I made the minimum purchases to immediately make bread.
Immediately after the deoccupation, the entire business returned to the cities of the Kyiv region, from private coffee houses and beauty salons to supermarkets and global chains. People are returning to normal life. Repairs and reconstructions continue even on weekends and holidays.
The roofs and windows are changed. Everyone knows about Vokzalna Street, which was destroyed. Now work is also underway to fully restore it. A new road has been laid there.
Houses, schools, hospitals, waterworks, playgrounds, most of it was rebuilt from scratch, local authorities say. This is an opportunity to do everything according to new requirements and at times better. People who have experienced the loss of loved ones, houses, businesses, jobs are trying to make every effort to fully restore the cities and villages of the Kyiv region. Children from whom Putin's army took away their childhood have returned to study and even to creativity. An art school was rebuilt in Bucha. Children were presented with new musical instruments to replace those that had burned down or were damaged by shrapnel. The windows were damaged by the shockwave, the roof was damaged, the central water supply network and sewerage. Well, because Russian tanks and their equipment passed near our school, there were checkpoints here. We were lucky that the Russians did not enter our building. Rapid recovery is one of the priorities of Ukraine and all its partners. Now funds for repairs are taken from state and local budgets. There are quick recovery programs from the European Union. Volunteers and patrons from all over the world offer their money and services. But for all accounts, Russia is primarily obliged to pay in the form of reparations. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Yulia Bezborodko, UATV News.